This is stuff you like, you can call me Ursa, and I tried not to get caught up in the hype or the speculation about the 50th anniversary. I tried not to read anything, not to be spoiled about it, not to have too high an expectation of brilliance. And then I saw the trailer and I was just kind of lost, because I love New Who a lot. I love the 9th Doctor, I love the 10th Doctor, I get on, okay with the 11th Doctor. I'm British, and even though I was 10 when the movie came out and I never saw it, like, Christopher Eccleston was my very first Doctor. Doctor Who is part of my cultural landscape. They've been making stories for 50 years, and I think that stories are really important. I think stories are one of the things that makes us human. Stories exist and get passed on because they are resonant, because there is something in there that speaks to the heart of who we are. This is who I am. This is who I would like to be. This is how the world is, or this is how the world could be if we do things right, or if we do things wrong. The best stories are not necessarily true, but they do contain truth. Now what, I hear you cry, does this have to do with the 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor, and what could possibly live up to this kind of introduction? Well, nothing, admittedly. That's not important, nor is it the point. The point that I'm meandering around is that Doctor Who has been running for so long and is so popular and so loved because these characters or these stories or these settings or themes have resonance. Now obviously when you've had 50 years to run the gamut of human experience and emotion, no hour and 15-minute family-friendly special is going to cover everything that you are, but you hope, and what we all hoped, I think, was that they would get the essence of it down. Because really The Day of the Doctor is only a little bit about telling a new story. Mostly it's about celebrating the stories that we've had and the ones that are still to come. And also kind of retconning a lot of things which have previously happened a bit, we'll come back to that. Nothing could have lived up to the hype and the expectation, but that said, I watched it, I liked it, and I was satisfied by it. So, spoilers incoming. From the opening black and white, to the school governors, to River's red stilettos being a weapon so dangerous they're locked in the Black Archive, we get references to Old Who and to New. We get Unit, we get Tom Baker scarves, and we get dangling out of the TARDIS because, you gotta have some action in there. The wonderful thing about those references is that you don't need to notice them or understand them for the episode to be good to you. Anyway, the episode revolves around the 3 or 2.5 Doctors: John Hurt's War Doctor, David Tennant's 10th, I guess 11th Doctor, and Matt Smith's 11th, I guess 12th Doctor. John Hurt's War Doctor is making the decision whether or not to kill everyone on Gallifrey to wipe out the Daleks forever and end the Time War. But it doesn't quite turn out the way everyone remembers it. It's a little confusing. Rose was my first companion, and she has an unassailable place in my heart because of that, and for various other reasons which are probably very boring to you, and so I will not go into. And Christopher Eccleston was my first Doctor, and I really wish he could have been in the special, but these things, they happen. That being said, David Tennant, in as far as anyone is my Doctor. And oh, David Tennant, how I miss you. Rose wasn't really Rose, she was the bad wolf or something that burns like the sun, and we got taken full circle back to the parting of the ways, and it was kind of amazing. So we saved Gallifrey and the Gallifreyans and the Time Lords, and we've ended the Time War, and you're not going to remember. 9 is broken by his memories of the Time War. 10 is desperate to hang on to his memories of the Time War. 11 tries desperately to forget all of that pain, all of that sorrow, all of that anguish, all of it for nothing. That hurts. I mean, I'm actually quite interested to see what happens when they bring back the Time Lords, and I knew that they were going to have to bring back Gallifrey and the Time Lords at some point, But yeah, it's kind of like Stephen Moffat went, right, remember this defining character moment which has, you know, haunted you for the last 2.5 generations? Yep, didn't actually happen. A lot of people are probably very angry about that, and I get it, I really do. But I think they did a pretty good job of making it a triumphant moment at the same time as making it a heartbreakingly sad one. Like, they didn't just decide to wipe out all that's happened in the last nearly 3 complete regenerations. But, that being said, this explanation of what happened to the Time Lords actually does clear up a few points of interest to me from the earlier seasons, like, why did the Daleks keep turning up everywhere in the universe? Daleks everywhere. Weren't the Daleks all supposed to be wiped out? Every time they came along they said, impossible, impossible. Well, now we know it was not impossible, and so, well, actually that kind of makes me feel a bit better about it. I mean, if you're going to completely screw up all of the established rules of the universe and crossing of your own timelines and things that can't be changed and fixed points, you may as well do it with style. And they did. I will admit that I have not been such a fan of the show since Moffat took over as showrunner, mostly because he has the Doctor make weird sexist comments out of nowhere every now and again, which is annoying, and also he has this tendency to write a lot of his female characters as snarky and ass-kicking and liking to snog the Doctor a lot, and I have no problem with snarky or ass-kicking or liking to snog the Doctor a lot, or indeed all three together, but always? And so, of course, we had Stephen Moffat Woman Mark I in the form of Elizabeth I, but it did at least work vaguely in this context, and if anybody is going to be a snarky ass-kicking, you know, person who likes snogging the Doctor, well, at least we have precedent for Elizabeth I. I think ultimately that was what sold it for me. It was very Moffat-y, but in a good Moffat-y way rather than a, oh, what? kind of Moffat-y way. And also, I don't know if Stephen Moffat has been watching the Thor movies, but, you know, I was really pleased by the fangirl stand-in, who is a nod to you, by the way, international young female viewers of Doctor Who. You, more than any other demographic, have made Doctor Who one of the most popular shows on BBC worldwide. The other two are Dancing with the Stars, which they do with ABC, and Top Gear, by the way. And of course there was the part with all of the Doctors. I mean, there is nothing that will make your heart sing quite like hearing all 12 of them! No sir, all 13. So I'm sure a lot of people liked it, a lot of people loved it, some people were probably indifferent to it, some people hated it, but flaws and all, I don't think it was a bad way to kick off the next 50 years. And to Peter Capaldi, I know we haven't been formally introduced yet, but welcome to the family. I hope you and your extremely angry eyes have a lot of fun.